welcome to everybody. Also, thank you very much, Jenny. So I have no slides because I thought, what should I do before I met you guys? So I thought just 2 words, what is important for me in my leadership journey. So I'm very happy to share some lessons learned, sometimes also in the hard way, lessons learned about leadership, about pioneering leadership, right? As you can see on the slide, I have only 2 passions. One is people, one is sustainability. Why people? I truly believe every transformation, every successful transformation starts with win the heart of the people. I can give you one example. 20 years back, after 10 years working for Siemens in China and Germany, I was headhunted to join a German company, which is a private equity-backed company. When I joined, I know the management was setting a very high, ambitious targets, and of course also introduced the global sourcing concept to this company. But when I went into the company, I felt something strange. The first few weeks, months, I was always left outside. Then I tried to understand why. I want to go to the engineering department or the workshops floor workers to ask for details about the drawing, parts which I need to qualify, suppliers from East European countries or China, Indian suppliers. I was always like, I don't want to talk to you. I felt strange. I said I was hired to help the company to reduce the costs, right? Nobody wants to talk to me. So when I walk in the workshops, people felt, what she wants to do here, right? And it was strange for me. And then 2-3 months later, when we had a company, a gathering with about 400 people, the whole factory was there, and the CEO and CFO was sitting in front of the whole population and started to talk about the vision, the mission, and of course they also mentioned why it is so important to establish now global sourcing. It's really about competitiveness of this company, right? So after the presentation, this was a Q&A session. So the blue workers, quite a few of them was raising their hands and say, we don't agree. We don't want to have global sourcing. We are good suppliers in our church tower around 20 kilometers radius. We are very established. We don't need anything about global sourcing. And we are against that because we know maybe the company wants to close this location and move every production to anywhere else, right? And I have families to feed. I'm totally against that. And also we are thinking about the strike, right? In Germany, it's very popular to have strikes, right? And then the CEO was trying to explain one more time, it's important, we have to reduce costs, competitiveness, etc., etc. So I was sitting there, and at that time, I spoke very broken German because I was just a few months there, and I couldn't speak that well German. I thought that was the reason why the colleagues was so much against me personally, right? But I thought I want to say something. So I raised my hands and indicated to the CEO, I want to answer this question from the colleagues on the floor. He was looking at me. He said, are you sure you want to speak? It looks like not normal someone from the middle management want to stand up to answer such a critical question, right? I said, yes, please. So he invited me to come to the front, to the colleagues, and I said just 2 things. I said, first of all, when we talk about one piece of product, which at that time everybody knows that product, and I said, this one, if you buy here locally, it costs us 6,000. If I buy from the low-cost countries, it costs us 2,000. So there are 4,000 euros difference. That's maybe your salary plus my salary a month. And second, I said, look, I have also employment contract in this German location. It's not my intention to make this factory closed because I will be jobless as you do. I try to do everything to lower our costs to make sure that we can keep this location sustained and also be able to deliver worldwide our great products. Are you with me or not? The guy looked at me. He sat down. He was quiet. So after this event, right after the meeting, quite a few of the colleagues came to me. They apologized to me. They said, you know what? We thought you are a spy, with your Chinese faces. We thought you are something like you're trying to steal our business and pushing it somewhere else. Now we understand what you do is actually great to us as a company. that's a very hard lesson I've learned in my early careers. It was 20 plus years back. And I learned every transformation starts with about the why, the purpose. But the purpose is not about the company purpose. It's all about also the people who are involved. Different company levels, they need to understand what is the benefit for them, what is benefit for every individuals, the employees who are working in this organization. So since then, I learned all my transformation journeys, I always start with the why, but also win the heart of the people who I'm going to work with. So fast forward, I saw a few ABB colleagues. I'd like to talk one other lessons I've learned, especially for women, is to dare to lead. Dare to lead for me means, for example, I was leading one of the largest business units at ABB many years back, I think at least 15 years back, a long time ago. And when I was traveling around of different organizations, I had always talent talks because I want to gather people from supply chain. I want to meet those talents, especially also female talents, especially like breakfasts and settings. And I always ask questions about how women can develop themselves in this company, which is very engineering, male-dominated company. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like a fact, right? And they were asking me questions like, oh, there's a job posting. I'm only 70% fulfilling those quality. The 30% is missing. Can I apply that job? Other questions, oh, there's a big gathering this evening. All the men go to a club where they're going to talk about fast cars and footballs. And I have my family at the home. I want to go back to my kids. Can I say no to those kind of events, right? Other things felt, other colleagues says, why my manager is not promoting me just because I have small kids at home, but I want to be promoted and have large responsibilities. So you see, these questions was always asked to me, and I thought to myself, I can only give my personal advice, but I'm not a professional professor or well-trained scientist. I can give them a lot of information. So I went to our HR and then I said, why don't we have a specific women's program in terms of to kind of answer those kind of questions? At that time, of course, 15 years back, nothing wrong with that. It's just D&I was not that aware. People are not aware about this. It's that important, right? I got a lot of skeptical questions to say, why you want to create a women's chatting club, or why do you need a specific program? We have ongoing management programs, leadership development programs. You should not need a very specific one for women, right? I said, because my team need it. If you don't want to do that, I will do it by myself. So Dare to Lead means I started to create a women's program specific for supply chain management. I still remember the first batch was 14 participants. Globally, I was collecting my team, and then we added also doing sponsors, mentoring sessions. But of course, I wanted to onboard a lot of sponsors to this program, right? Because I want senior managers be aware there are questions. They can also support those women talents in my organization. So I walked around in our headquarters looking for the big guys and say, hey, I'm creating a women's program for supply chain. Can you be one of my sponsors? Can you be the mentors for one of the participants? Some of them signed up very immediately. Some was like, I have no time, why should I do that, right? I asked particularly just one question. I said, do you have a daughter? They said, yeah, I have a daughter. I said, do you want your daughter in 10 years, 20 years to work in this company? He looked at me and said, now I understand what you want from me, right? So in this way, I was able to, let's say, onboard many sponsors to this program, and we kicked off with a specific supply chain-related talent program for women. And I think after half a year, a lot of their peers, their managers came to me and said, what did you do? What a wonder you have done to my guys. These ladies, they become happier. They became visible in the organization. They raised their hands to say, I want to take large responsibilities. They became visible in the organization. Especially they are happy that the women start to communicate much better. Because in the program, I was very specific talking about 2-3 things. One is about communication skills, because I think women and men, they are communicating sometimes in different way, right? If someone misunderstood you or not understood what you want to say, don't criticize yourself. think about different ways to communicate, to make yourself heard or understood. Right? Other things like, we did also like horse training, how do you emotionally connect with an animal, not even using words, just using your body language, your mimic, and also build your self-confidence. So throughout this program, I was very happy that I get those feedbacks. Especially, I was even happier. Our HR, our board of directors, they became aware about this program because so many people talk so good about that. I'm very happy today AVB have this program. I think it's one of the cornerstones of today's D&I framework, which I'm very proud of. I was invited back to speak with also today's HRO from AVB, talking to the current participant of the program. I have no idea who they are, but they knew I was the one who created, not from HR, but from a supply chain management function, right? So these are the two things I'd like to mention. I have many other stories to share. Also, I was transforming myself from Asia and from China. There's a lot of career difference between the Chinese culture versus European culture. I've transformed myself a lot of hard work to be done. So I'm very happy to share also afterwards in the Q&A discussion. Yeah, so thank you very much.
Thank you.